Good. You hit on me. We can get it out of the way that I'm not interested.
Great. Let's talk more about this mind-numbing nonsense. Oh, wait a minute. I've got a better idea. Let's not.
It was supposed to be her triumphant return, the moment Meghan Markle reclaimed Hollywood, brushed off the royal drama, and declared herself a leading actress once again. But instead, Hollywood insiders are calling it a meltdown, a full-scale PR catastrophe. And in the words of one studio executive, the most chaotic set incident of the year.
Meghan Markle is giving show business a second look. On Wednesday, November 5th, multiple outlets confirmed that the Duchess of Sussex is returning to acting after she was spotted on.
Yep, Meghan Markle's big acting comeback has officially detonated. And the deleted scene that leaked? It's uglier than anyone expected. The industry is buzzing, directors whispering in private meetings, producers pacing nervously, casting agents quietly updating their do not touch lists. Because the footage, the one Meghan allegedly demanded be scrubbed, burned, and erased from every server, is now sitting in inboxes all across Los Angeles. From the moment the clip hit the underground Hollywood circuit, everything spiraled. According to insiders who saw it, the now-deleted scene wasn't just unflattering, it was a full-blown on-camera moment where Meghan lost control. Not in an Oscar-worthy, emotional way, but in a this-will-ruin-your-brand for a decade way. And what triggered it? A line. One single line. A simple piece of dialogue Meghan apparently hated so much that she stopped the entire production, marched off script, and unleashed such a long tirade that crew members actually stopped rolling because they weren't sure whether they were filming a meltdown or witnessing the early stages of an HR investigation. But before we dive into the deleted scene, the one already being described as Hollywood's worst-kept secret, let's rewind the tape. Because Meghan's acting comeback didn't begin with excitement. It began with suspicion and a whole lot of side-eye from people who remember the last time she walked off a set.
Sometimes you wonder if this calamitous woman ever does anything right. Meanwhile, over on the Christmas special of Netflix's dreadful cooking dirge with Love Meghan, the self-styled domestic goddess is busy.
Sources say Meghan's team pitched this comeback as a powerful reintroduction, a role written to make her look strong, smart, and, in their words, emotionally resonant with modern women. But insiders claim the studio quickly learned that modern women apparently meant. Meghan approves the script. Meghan rewrites the scenes. Meghan changes the shots. Meghan selects the camera angles. Meghan negotiates the lighting. Meghan refuses to be portrayed as anything less than inspiring. One producer put it this way: "You weren't directing Meghan. Meghan was directing you." That's the energy she walked in with, and the cast felt it immediately.
And this is how you know it's leaked. Second paragraph. She seemed to be in good spirits, so she waved to a crew member before making her way.
Word around the production office is that some actors started calling the project the Meghan Markle self-love story, behind her back, because every adjustment she made somehow made her character more heroic, more glamorous, more misunderstood by the world. Even the writers felt it. One insider said, by the third rewrite, it wasn't a script anymore, it was a shrine. Still, the studio pushed forward. Because no matter how divisive Meghan is, she brings eyeballs. She brings headlines. She brings social media thunder. At least, she used to. Then came the one moment Meghan didn't see coming, the scene that would blow the entire production sky high. It was a dramatic confrontation between Meghan's character and another lead, a moment designed to show vulnerability and depth. The original line was totally harmless, almost sweet. But the second Meghan saw it, she froze. She stared at the script, then asked calmly at first, "Why am I saying this?" According to multiple sources, the director tried to move on, explaining that the line was essential to the emotional arc. But Meghan wasn't having it. She thought the line made her character look weak. One insider shared, she demanded it be changed on the spot. The director refused. That was the moment everything cracked.
So it's come to this. Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, is returning to acting. Reports are already coming in as to how this is already backfiring.
Crew members describe a long, tense silence, the kind of silence where everyone suddenly pretends to be checking their microphones, even though they're all thinking the same thing. Oh God, here we go. And then Meghan snapped. Not a quiet disagreement. Not a diva remark. No, a full-fledged, red-faced, voice-shaking explosion. According to multiple sources, she accused the writers of sabotage, the director of undermining her authenticity, and the studio of weaponizing her vulnerability. She claimed the script was a trap. She declared she would never be portrayed this way again. And here's where it goes from dramatic to unbelievable. She demanded that the entire scene be rewritten immediately, in front of the entire cast and crew. Not later. Not after lunch. Not in notes. Right then and there. Enter 6. People on set were stunned. The studio executive watching via remote feed reportedly texted someone. Is this a bit? Is she acting? What is going on? But it wasn't a bit. This was real. The cameras were still rolling when Meghan blew up, and that footage, the meltdown itself, is the part she allegedly begged the studio to delete. And they did. Or so she thought. Here's the twist that sent shockwaves across Hollywood. Yes, the scene was deleted from the official servers. But not before someone clipped it, saved it, and forwarded it to a small circle of trusted industry colleagues. Except that circle? Not so trustworthy after all.
Now she's going to be playing a film. Reports are it's all over the place. This seems pretty legit. Deadline, pretty good, Hollywood Trade.
The comeback wasn't just derailed, it was blown apart. The moment the clip started circulating behind closed doors, Meghan's entire return to Hollywood campaign began crumbling like a sandcastle in a hurricane. At first, the studio tried to play it cool. Soft denials. Claims of creative differences. Insisting production was simply taking a scheduled recalibration break. Yeah, no one in Hollywood bought that. Because once a meltdown clip escapes a secure server, it's over. Within hours, the footage wasn't just being shared, it was being dissected, paused, zoomed in, and forwarded to directors, producers, casting executives, and talent managers. Everyone suddenly had an opinion about Meghan, and none of them were gentle. One director responded to the clip with a single line. Nope, not touching that vortex. Another wrote, why is she fighting the script like the script insulted her ancestors? But the harshest comment came from a major studio executive, someone who had once considered negotiating a major deal with Meghan. This is why we say cameras don't lie. She showed us who she really is, and now the whole town knows. The comeback wasn't just derailed, it was blown apart. The moment the clip started circulating behind closed doors, Meghan's entire return to Hollywood campaign began crumbling like a sandcastle in a hurricane. At first, the studio tried to play it cool. Soft denials. Claims of creative differences. Insisting production was simply taking a scheduled recalibration break. Yeah, no one in Hollywood bought that. Because once a meltdown clip escapes a secure server, it's over. Within hours, the footage wasn't just being shared, it was being dissected, paused, zoomed in, and forwarded to directors, producers, casting executives, and talent managers. Everyone suddenly had an opinion about Meghan, and none of them were gentle. One director responded to the clip with a single line. Nope, not touching that vortex. Another wrote, why is she fighting the script like the script insulted her ancestors? But the harshest comment came from a major studio executive, someone who had once considered negotiating a major deal with Meghan. This is why we say cameras don't lie. She showed us who she really is, and now the whole town knows.
Who did the interview noted an interesting protocol. Meghan's staff announced her as Duchess of Sussex when she entered, even though no one else was in the room. As for Harry, Meg says, quote,
that's when word reached Meghan's team, and that's when the panic kicked into overdrive. Emails started flying. Crisis consultants were activated. A well-known specialist, the same guy studios call when actors punch photographers or get caught screaming on set, was seen rushing into Meghan's Montecito home. He reportedly told her team the one truth they did not want to hear. We can't bury this. Someone wants this out. That single line sent chills through her entire camp. Because if someone wanted it out, that meant betrayal. Someone on the inside. Someone with access. Someone she trusted. And Meghan hates, absolutely despises, the idea of being outplayed. Her team immediately launched a manhunt for the leak, pulling server logs, questioning staff, even sending private legal threats. But while they were busy chasing shadows, Hollywood had already moved on to the part Meghan feared most. At CAA, agents started whispering how volatile she seemed. At WME, coordinators murmured that she was impossible to direct. At Netflix's LA offices, one showrunner joked, "She wants to run the set? Then let her fund the show herself." By the next morning, half the industry had formed an opinion, not based on her comeback project, but on the clip. Meghan had spent 5 years crafting an image of professionalism, elegance, empowerment, calmness, and poise. And in 2 minutes of chaotic footage, one bad moment erased it. But the clip wasn't even the most damaging part. The conversations around it were. Because now people were asking questions she could not afford to trend. Is she difficult? Is she unstable? Does she sabotage her own projects? Why does drama follow her everywhere? For an actress re-entering Hollywood, the rumor mill is far more destructive than any video. Whispers become narratives. Narratives become cautionary tales. Cautionary tales become casting blacklists. 2 days into the chaos, the studio behind Meghan's comeback held an emergency summit, glass-walled conference room, 12 executives, 3 lawyers, and a PR rep who looked like they hadn't slept in 40 hours. One agenda item. What do we do about Meghan? Some argued they needed to recast. Others warned firing her would turn the public against the studio. A quieter group suggested scrapping the entire project, cut the losses, walk away. Then someone finally said what everyone had been thinking, but no one dared to voice. If she melts down like this in episode 1, what's she going to do by episode 6? Silence. Awkward, loaded silence. By the end of the meeting, nothing was decided publicly. Privately, insiders say the studio began drafting alternative strategies, and none of them looked good for Meghan. Meanwhile, Meghan's team prepared a carefully crafted comeback statement, emotional, self-reflective, all about creative integrity. But before they could launch it, something else dropped into the rumor pool. Something bigger. Something uglier. Something that made the meltdown look like a warm-up. Remember the crew member who quietly walked off set during the blow-up? Well, word is that person didn't just walk away. They walked straight into a meeting with another studio and told them everything. That studio passed it on. Then someone else passed it to a reporter they owed a favor. And suddenly tabloids began sniffing around. Not about the deleted footage. No, worse. They were asking about Meghan's behavior during the first week of filming. Did she shut down scenes? Did she threaten to walk? Did she refuse direction from male staff? Did she rewrite emotional beats to avoid vulnerability? All the things the studio had desperately tried to hide were now shimmering just below the surface, ready to erupt into the press. Meghan's team scrambled, of course. Lawyers drafted warnings. Publicists prepared counter-narratives. Assistants prepped full damage control press tours. But it didn't matter. Because while they were planning to spin the story was already spinning without them. Sources say Meghan, furious and humiliated, insisted on taking control of the crisis herself. She told her team, in a long, heated call, that she wanted to address the rumors directly. Not with a soft interview. Not with a polished statement. No, she wanted a video. A personal message filmed from her home office, raw, emotional, defiant, authentic. Her team begged her not to. Warned her emotions were too high. Told her the internet was sharpening its knives. She didn't care. She wanted to set the record straight. She wanted to tell her truth. She wanted to shut this down once and for all. She turned on the camera. She hit record. And, well, let's just say the reaction wasn't what she hoped. Now she's right back at square one.